Yes, hello everyone, myself Rajiv Raj Singh, physics faculty. So my dear student, today I am here with some numerical and some concept. Yesterday I discussed refraction. In that lecture I discussed what is the phenomena of refraction, what is the reason behind this. After then we have discussed refractive index, relative refractive index, what is the effect of refraction on frequency of light, wavelength of light, speed of light, then what is the denser medium, what is the rarer medium, then Snell's law, or you can say Snell's law, and after then Snell's law in vector form. So now yesterday I think we have discussed one numerical also in the previous lecture. So right now we are going to discuss another numerical. You have to see here. This is a glass and its length is 4 meter. This is a liquid and we don't know refractive index of this liquid. We don't know refractive index of this liquid. But it is given that optical path, optical path of both are, optical path of both are same. Then find refractive index of liquid. Then find refractive index of liquid. Because yesterday I told you, you have to keep in your mind refractive index of glass and refractive index of water. Sometimes they may be given, sometimes they may not be given. So just see here refractive index of glass is not given, but we know that refractive index of glass is equal to what? 3/2. So we have find refractive index of this one. So check its solution. My dear, check its solution. What is the optical path? So if we will look in yesterday lecture, then you can see optical path is equal to mu times into thickness of material. So we can write mu1 d1. For this one I assume this is the first material. So mu1 d1, and this optical path should be equal to another optical path. So I wrote here mu2 d2, right? Okay. So this one mu1 is what? 3/2. And what is the d1? Yes, tell me what is d1? 4 meters. So 4 is equal to what? I don't know what is the mu2, but here refractive index is given 1.5. So this is what? Sorry, 4.5. This is what? 1.5. So 3 times get cancelled out. So mu is equal to 4/3. Mu is equal to what? 4/3. So I am writing here refractive index of this material is coming. Liquid refractive index is coming 4/3. It means this unknown liquid is what? Basically water. So this is the first application of optical path, right? So just see the next question. Yes. So see, we have the next question and third question of refraction. So just see, everybody, please look here. This is a one medium and refractive index of this medium is mu1. Refractive index of this medium is mu2. Done, buddy? Okay. Here one normal, one light is coming at an angle of θ1 degree. It means angle of incidence become θ1. This light diffracted at an angle θ2 degree. So read this question. Everybody read this question. What given? K1 is a unit vector in the direction of incident ray. K2 cap is a unit vector in the direction of refracted ray, not reflected, refracted. Third, N is a normal unit vector. Then they are asking, find the Snell's law in vector form. Can I write this one? Okay, just see here. So I'm writing, find the Snell's law in vector form. In vector form. So my dear, yesterday I told you, see the answer. Snell's law in vector form, yesterday I told you what? U1 into I cap, it means K1 cap cross N cap is equal to E2 times K2 cap cross N cap. This is a Snell's law in vector form. This Snell's law can be written in another form also, because you have theta 1 and theta 2 given, so we have to write in the terms of theta 1 and theta 2 also. Okay, you know A cross B is equal to AB sin theta, don't worry. And we know that the resultant of these two, or simple we can say, resultant of this cross product must be perpendicular to K1 as well as N. Resultant of this cross product must be perpendicular to this one. So you have to apply here theta 1 and theta 2. So what we can do, see here, just take dot product n both sides. See what we can write, mu1 into n cap dot K1 cross n cap, K1 vector cross cap is equal to mu2 times n dot K2 cap n cap. Now you can ask a question, why you wrote like this one? See, this cross product always will be perpendicular to this one. It means this vector and this vector dot product will be 0. This vector and this vector. Okay, so see, this dot product and this cross product becomes 0. This dot product and this cross product becomes 0. So simply you can say, I make both sides 0. It means nothing changed here, right? Because both equations equal to each other even now. So can I write this one? Here we have to apply, my dear, here we have to apply concept of vector triple product. See, I am writing here one note. You have also write this one. Even you will study in mathematics, A dot B cross C triple vector product. This is equal to A dot C into B minus A dot B into C. So this is called triple product of, right, vector triple product. This is called vector triple product. See, A dot B cross C is equal to A dot C into B minus A dot B into C. So we are going to expand our equation, whatever we have wrote in the last step, according to this one. So you can see mu1, what is the equation there? N dot K1 cross N. So this become, my dear, see, N dot N, okay, minus, sorry, into K1 cap minus N dot K1 into N, okay, is equal to, second equation RHS become mu2 is equal to N dot N, sorry, N dot K2, N dot N K2, okay, visible? Yeah, minus, okay, right, minus here, minus N dot K2 into N cap. So this is the method. See, can I write this one? Okay. So my dear student, what we can write? See here, this is basically coming I K1 cap, this is going K2 cap, this is the theta, this is the N cap. So n cap dot n cap, I dot I is what? 1. So this become mu1 into 1 into k1. So directly writing here k1 cap minus, see here, n dot k1. It means you are going to find dot product between these two vectors. So this angle is what? Theta 1. This is what? Theta 1. So this angle become 180 minus theta. 180 minus theta 1. Because we know that this angle is theta 1, so this become 180 minus theta 1. And angle between two vectors is equal to when they are tail at same point. So this become cos 180 minus theta 1 n cap, okay, is equal to, similarly we can write, see, mu2 n dot n become 1. So this become, my dear, k2, okay, minus, yeah, this become k2 minus, right from here, what we can write? N dot k2. Yeah, just n dot n k1. What is the product there? Third product we have to do, third product. So n, okay. So this become n k2. See, this is a n and this is a k2. So this angle is theta 2. So angle between these two vectors again 180 minus theta 2. So this become cos 180 minus theta 2 k n cap. Okay. 180 minus theta 2 n cap. Now replace this all the things. So solve this one. This become, my dear, mu1 k1 vector minus, this become cos 180. Cos 180, what we can write? 180 minus theta. What we can write? Minus cos theta. So this become plus cos theta 1 n cap is equal to mu2. Okay, visible? Yeah. Is equal to mu2. Similarly, k2 vector and minus minus again become plus there. So this become minus minus plus. This become, my dear, cos theta 2 n cap. So now solve this one. This become mu1 k1 cap plus mu1 cos theta 1 n cap is equal to mu2 k2 cap plus mu2 cos theta 2 n cap. Done, buddy? Now just reshuffle. Take this one this side. So this become mu1 k1 cap minus mu2 k2 cap is equal to there mu2 cos theta 2 minus mu1 cos theta 1 n cap. So this is a final answer of Snell's law. So again I am telling you, on the basis of this formula, lot of question you will find in a good level of book. If you are solving here and there, then you will not get such kind of numericals. But if you will take a good standard book, then 110% such kind of numerical you will find there. Done, buddy? So this is a third question based on refraction. Now we are going to take another question. See here. Yes. So see guys, we have fourth number question of this series. Fourth number question. Question is what? Basically here three materials. See, we have the combined pack of three material. This is the material A and this is material B. This is material C. See, the refractive index of A is given 1.5. Refractive index of B is given 1.4. What is the question? See, basically this is a very good question. See what is the point. If number of wave in A, is equal to number of wave in B and C, then what is the mu C? It means if number of wave in A is equal to number of wave in B and C, then find the refractive index of C. So my dear, the point is that what is the number of wave? So see, we know that in one wavelength lambda, one wave exists. If I will draw it here, just erase. See, we know that in one linear wavelength, how many waves? One. So if you have find, just see here, this is a wave. This distance is what? Anybody tell me? So this is called wavelength. And how many wave? So one wave. This is a one wave. Okay. Suppose this distance is x. X. So in lambda, how many wave? One wave. So my question is, in x distance, how many wave will be there? So number of wave is equal to x by lambda. This is called number of wave, right? Okay. This is the basically additional point or basic point. Done, buddy? Now coming on the question. Can I write? Okay. So see, again I am making this diagram. Please everybody like here. See, this is a A, this is a B, and this is a C. This distance is x, this is a 2x, so this is what? 3x. Okay, same light is coming. Here light is coming. Suppose its wavelength is what? Lambda. So what will be here wavelength? Lambda A, here will be lambda B, and here will be lambda C. So according to question, number of wave in A is equal to number of wave in B and C. So see, number of A is equal to number of B plus number of C, because it is given that number of wave in A is equal to number of wave in B and C combination. Now what we can say here? 3x by lambda A, because when light will go from one medium to another medium, wavelength will be changed. So here we can write 3x by lambda A, here we can write x by lambda B, and here we can write 2x by lambda C. Very good question, my dear, very good question. This question will revise your all concept. Again I am telling you, if you are doing here and there, then definitely this question will bounce to you, right? You will not get this point. But if you want really to do something, then this question is very good. Now, yesterday I told you, lambda in medium is equal to lambda in air, lambda naught by mu. So, on the basis of this, what we can say, see, lambda A, it is visible? Okay. So, see here, lambda A is equal to what we can say? Lambda naught by its refractive index 1.5. Lambda B is equal to what we can say? Lambda naught by 1.4. Yes or no? Similarly, lambda C is equal to lambda naught by mu. Why mu? Because we don't know what is the value of refractive index for C. Now can I write? Okay. So from equation first, see here. From equation first. Okay, what we can say? X get cancelled. So this become 3 by lambda A. What is the lambda A? Lambda naught by 1.5. So this become 1.5 by lambda naught is equal to, this is what? 1 by lambda B. And lambda B is what? This one. So this become 1.4 by lambda naught plus this become mu 2 mu by lambda naught. So my dear student, you can solve this one. Cham. So this become 4.5 minus 1.4 is equal to 2 mu. Now solve this one. This become 1 and this become 3.1, I think. Yes. 5 minus 4, 1. Yes. 4 minus 1, 3.1 is equal to 2 mu. So mu is equal to 3.1 by 2, or you simply can say 1.5 501 whatever, you will get the answer. So this is the method to find unknown refractive index, right? So see, in all those questions we are applying the concept of refraction whatever we have studied yesterday. We will see lot of questions. So just wait for the next question. Yes, my dear students, so we have the next question. See here. Question number 5. Already 4 questions we have discussed, those are based on purely on refraction. Once you will get the lecture, just watch each and every point. After then, all numericals are easy, and I am damn sure once you will get this all numericals, it means your pen never will be stopped during the solving JEE Main, NEET or any another state exam. Yeah, in some JEE advanced question your pen may be stuck because lot of refraction we did not study here. We will study in upcoming lectures, right? So see, here again this is the interface. This side one medium and this side another medium. Refractive index of this medium is 1.5. Refractive index of this medium is 2, right? See, this is an incident unit vector, or simply you can say unit vector in the direction of incident ray. It means in this direction, okay? This is a unit vector. In the direction of refracted ray, this is the unit vector. It means in this direction, okay? They are asking that find ratio of A by C. They are asking that find the ratio of A by C. So just see how we can solve. Can I start? Okay. See my dear. So first of all, under root solution, check here. It is visible? Yeah. Under root A square plus B square is equal to 1. Why? Because these are the unit vectors. Okay. Under root C square plus D square is also 1. This is also unit vector. Okay. My dear, this light is coming. So we can resolve two components. It has a what? I cap, A I cap. We have already, this is already given A I cap plus B J cap. I cap is what? Vector along the x axis. So its one component will be like this. Okay, A, and another will be B, and this will be I. Okay. Similarly, this is what R. What is the its x component? C. So this will be C, magnitude. Here I am taking only magnitude. So this will be C, and this will be what? D. This will be what? D. So you look here. So you will get one right angle triangle. This is the angle. Right angle triangle. Here you will get right angle triangle. So simply if you want to see, so this is what? Tell me, according to rules of Pythagoras theorem, this become what? Under root A square plus B square, and this will be again under root C square plus D square. Again I am repeating this point. If you want to good knowledge, then definitely you have to follow this process. Otherwise, I cannot say anything. See, so what we can say, sine I is equal to sine I. What? Perpendicular by hypotenuse. So A by, what is this? Under root A square plus B square. So here sine I is equal to A become only A. Why A? Because it is given here, this is 1. Unit vector, so it will be 1. Similarly, you can write here, see, sine R, this is the sine R. So sine R in this triangle, if you want to write what you can write, sine R is equal to C1, okay, not visible, so the C this side. So sine R, my dear, sine R is equal to C by under root C square plus D square, and this is also 1. So sine R is equal to C. Okay. Sine I we have calculated, and sine R we got it is equal to this. Now we can apply the formula. Which formula? Snell's law. So you have to study Snell's law. What is the Snell's law? What is the Snell's law, my dear? Mu1 sin I is equal to mu2 sin R. Mu1 is what? 1.5. Sin I we have calculated here. A is equal to, this is what? 2. And sin R we have calculated C. According to question, you have to calculate A by C. According to question, you have to calculate A by C. So take this one this side. So A by C is equal to 2 by 1.5. And we can write this one 2 by 3 by 2. So A by C is equal to 4 by 3. We got it, the answer. A by C is equal to what? 4 by 3. So this is another kind of question which is based on refraction. Okay. So see here another question. This is a very good question. I took this one from the series of any book test series, and really this is a very good national question. See here. Here we have one kind of liquid, and refractive index of this liquid is what? Mu. A light is coming at an angle of 45 degree. Now, right now, it has thickness T. So question is, what will be its thickness when they get entered in a liquid? So I am writing here, find the thickness in liquid. Again, I would like to repeat this question. See everybody. This is one kind of ray coming, basically wave front. This is one kind of wave front coming, suppose that, right? It is coming at an angle of what? 45 degree. Right now, its thickness is what? T. This thickness is what? T. So question is, when they will enter in water, then what will be its thickness? So definitely its thickness will be changed. How we can say? So see, this is the normal. Okay, this ray is going from rarer to denser. My dear, this ray is going from rarer to denser. So according to our concept, it should bend towards the normal. So it's bent like this. It's bent like this. See, this is bent like this. Okay. This ray is also coming in the same way, and it is also going from rarer to denser. So this will bend like in this way. So right now this becomes its thickness. Suppose that it is here. So this becomes its thickness T dash. This is its thickness T dash. Okay. Draw the perpendicular from here. So we have to find this T dash. Okay, no issue. And it is given that this angle is at 45 degree. Refractive index is what? Mu. So my dear, what we can do? This angle is 45, so this is also 45. Are you ready? This angle is 45, so this is also 45. Okay. If you are not getting, so see here. This angle is 45, so this becomes also 45 because this total angle is 90 degree. Done. So this is 45. This angle is what? 45. Okay. So this is also 45. So just give the name. Suppose that this is A, this is B, Asanti, Basanti, Champa, and this is a Dolly. So look in triangle. See, in triangle A, B and C. A, B and C. So what is there? See, this is a T, thickness given, this is a T. And this like 45 degree, okay. This is a perpendicular, fine, no issue. I assume this is a X. So according to cos 45 is equal to what we can write? X by T. So X is equal to T by root 2. Getting my points? So we got that this thickness X is equal to, this is X. This one, AB. AB is equal to X by, sorry, T by root 2. Now come in another triangle. Another triangle is there, ACD. in triangle A, C and D. So if you see A, C and D like this, and here perpendicular, from here this is the perpendicular. Okay, my dear, what we can say, this is X. Okay, fine, no issue. This angle we can find here. Suppose that R. This angle is what? R. Oh, sorry. This angle I assume R. Okay. Can I write this side? Even you can say this angle is R. So this angle is what? 90 minus R. Okay, you have to calculate what? This thickness T dash. So it is visible now? Okay, can I write? Okay, fine. So in this triangle, what we can say, see, cos theta, cos, don't apply cos, apply sine. Sine 90 minus R, so perpendicular by hypotenuse. So what we can write? Sine 90 minus R is equal to perpendicular T dash by hypotenuse, this is the hypotenuse X. Now remove this one also. So you will get here, sir, this become cos R is equal to T dash by X. So basically T dash is equal to coming X into cos R. Now thing is that, what is X? What is X? So we have already calculated XC. X we have calculated T by root 2 into cos R, equation second or first, whatever we can say. If once we will calculate cos R, then we will get the result. Now from Snell's law, see, from Snell's law. So what is its law? See, my dear, mu1 sin I. So I is given 45 degree is equal to mu2 sin R. Right? Mu1 is given 1 because air. This is 1 by root 2 and this is given mu and this is sin R, I think. Refractive index given or not? Just see, first medium. Oh, what happened? First medium. Okay, refractive index of first medium we will take like 1. So basically what happened? Here some problem coming. Okay, see. So from here sin R is equal to 1 by 2 root mu. 1 by 2 root mu. So cos R is what? Under root 1 minus sin square R. So just put this value. So cos R become from there. Cos R is equal to under root 1 minus sin square R. So this become 1 by 2 mu square. Put here. So from equation first, what we can say? T dash is equal to T by root 2 divided, this is under root, we can write this one, 2 mu square minus 1 by what? 1 by 2 mu square. Just solve this one. So T dash become mu into T divided root 2 get cancelled under root 2 mu square minus 1. So my dear, this is a method to find the thickness of ray when it will go from one medium to another medium. Yeah, this result we can use like a extended result also. If you will recall this one, then your lot of time will be saved, right? Okay, so now we are going to take another question. Wait for this. Okay, so see, we have next question. This is the basically this question was asked in IIT Advanced, but you will see this is a very easy question. Basically here 4 medium. This is the medium first, second, third and fourth. See, again I am telling you, this question was asked in IIT Advanced, but this question is very easy. You can see how we can apply or how we can solve by using the concept of laws of refraction. First medium, second medium, and this is the third medium and this is the fourth medium, right? See, here light entered at an angle theta, so angle of incidence become theta 1, angle of reflection become theta 1. This is the angle of incidence theta, angle of reflection theta 1. Now the same light enter into another medium, so I just repeat this process. Again this angle become theta 1 because the same light, and this angle become theta 2. Theta 1, this become theta 2, sorry. So this is also theta 2. So this become theta 1, theta 2, so this is theta 2. And light come here and becomes perpendicular. It means question is what? See, refractive index is given N0, N0 by 2, N0 by 6, N0 by 8. Question is what? What should be value of theta? Question is what? What should be value of theta so that light does not enter in the fourth medium? So that light does not enter in the fourth medium. So what happens? This light will come like this, right? Light will come like this from here and become like this. It means this angle becomes 90 degree. So you can solve this question very easily, my dear. You can solve this question very easily. Just you need to apply Snell's law at this point and at this point. See, this is the first point and this is a, you can say first, second and third point. This is the third point. So simply apply Snell's law at 1 and 3. So what is here? Mu naught. What is the mu? N naught sin theta is equal to here. What is the refractive index of fourth medium? For fourth medium, N naught by 8 into sine. What is this angle? 90 degree. Cham cham, samacham. So what is coming? Sin theta is coming 1 by 8 because sin 90 becomes 1. So from here you will get the result. Theta is equal to sin inverse 1 by 8. This is the answer. See, this is our answer. Done, buddy? So simple, we apply here Snell's law. So Snell's law we can apply within any 2 points. We can apply Snell's law here and here. We can apply here and here. We can apply here and here. If there are n materials, even after, we are able to apply Snell's law between any 2 points. Done, buddy? Now we are going to see another question, right? See here. Yeah, so we have one next question, and again I am telling you, these all questions are very standard questions, right? See, theory anybody can do because only theory, but basically your numerical will judge your potential, your numerical will judge your concept because every numerical twisted, right? So I think if you want to good gripping in physics, then you have focus more and more on numerical practice. See here, this is a one sphere of radius, you can assume r. This is a one sphere of radius r, right? Light is coming at angle alpha, refractive index given mu. They have asked find the deviation of light, and this is a standard question. Even all are a standard question. So I am writing here, find the deviation of light. Deviation of light. See, this term I thought I used in the second lecture of ray optics. Deviation after reflection. But this is not finished there. This all the terms anywhere asked in any topic. So you have to keep in your mind. See, what is the deviation? I told the gap of or divergence angle between the incident ray and reflected ray or emergent ray is called deviation. So this is basically what? Incident ray. This is what? Incident ray. Wow, gaja. And this is what? Emergent ray, because it is coming outside. This is emergent ray. So see, if this sphere is not present here, suppose this sphere is not present here, then this ray will go like this, right? But because of this sphere, this light bent like this one. So this is called deviation. Basically, this is called deviation. This light is called deviation. Okay, so we have to find this value. Okay, no issue, we can find very easily. Can I get? Okay. See. Yeah, please keep watching. Otherwise, once you will escape, then definitely it will bounce. See, light is coming at an angle alpha and it is going from rarer medium to denser medium. So what happens? It will bend towards the normal. So what is normal? Any ray which passes through the center of curvature is normal. So this is what? Normal. So this angle I assume beta. Now this light came at this surface. Here path will be a straight. Why a straight? Because here medium from here to there same. This angle is what? Anybody tell me? This angle is alpha. So this is also, sorry, this angle is beta. So this is also beta because this is a normal. This is also normal. This is a radius r. This is radius also r. So this become also beta. Okay. Assume this point is first and this is the second point, and assume this angle is gamma because alpha, beta, delta. So we have to assume gamma. You getting my points? See, what is the first deviation? I am writing here delta 1, first deviation. This is the first deviation. So what is the total angle? Alpha, and out of this is beta. So first deviation is alpha minus beta. What is the second deviation? See, it has to go like this one. So this angle is beta. But right now this is a gamma. Right now this is what? Gamma. So this radiation become beta minus gamma. Sorry. See, so this ray have to go like this. If medium is not present, then this light will go like this. And this is the normal. So this angle is beta and this angle is gamma. This angle is what? Gamma. So this become gamma minus beta. So basically this become gamma minus beta. So total deviation become, my dear, alpha plus gamma minus 2 beta. Alpha plus gamma minus 2 beta. Now I wrote this one and I erase because I need some space. Now apply this is the equation first. Now from Snell's law, one law for refractive problem, Snell's law at 1 and 2. I have already mentioned what is 1 and what is 2. This point is called 1 and this point is called 2. So apply here. Mu1, refractive index assume here 1. So this become 1 sin alpha. And what is the refractive index? Sorry, here this is also 1 sin gamma. I taking outside, this outside. Even you can take inside also. Get me my points? So see, 1 sin alpha is equal to 1 sin gamma. So from here we can say alpha is equal to gamma. Okay, from here we can say alpha is equal to gamma. So net deviation becomes from here, net deviation, delta become gamma plus gamma, or you can say alpha plus alpha. This become 2 alpha minus 2 beta. So from here we can say 2 into alpha minus beta. And my dear student, this is one kind of example, but you have to keep this result in your mind like a standard formula. Like a standard formula. Got it? Okay. So just we are going to see one numerical based on this formula, right? Okay. Now see, we are going to discuss one numerical based on the same formula whatever we have discussed, right? This is one sphere, okay. Here one ray is coming at an angle of 60 degree. So incident angle, it means alpha becomes 60 degree. Question: a light emerges parallel to line AB. It means right now this ray will emerge like this. Emerging ray. This is an incident ray. Suppose I, and this is emergent ray or emerging ray E. Again see, light is coming like this one, and this will emerge like this one. So they are asking what? Find the mu. You can solve this question by using two methods. Again, same process, whatever I have repeated, that's first method. Second is what? If you will recall the formula, then it becomes very easy. Tell me, this ray is going like this in this direction? Yeah. So this is 60, so this is what? Also 60. So what is the deviation total? So your total deviation becomes, see, delta net becomes 60 degree, because light has tendency to go in this direction, right? But due to presence of this sphere and due to presence of refractive denser material, it bend like this one, it become like this one. So this is what? Deviation. So delta becomes 60 degree. Now what we can say? Delta is equal to 2 times alpha minus beta. Is there any mu? I think somewhere mu should be there. Okay, equation first. This is the equation first, no issue. Now alpha is given. You can even write, see, you can write even 2 times alpha become 60 degree minus beta is equal to 60 degree. So find from here beta. This become 60 degree minus beta is equal to 30 degree. See, this become this side, so this become 30. So 60 minus beta is 30. So my dear lollipop student, beta is what? 30 degree, yes or no? And I told you, suppose this light is going in this direction. So this light bend like this one, suppose that. So this angle is what? Beta. So apply Snell's. Basically I am representing another ray diagram. See here. This is a line AB, ray is coming like this one, and this ray will go like this one, and after that, suppose that after that this ray become parallel to AB. So this ray is what? This angle is what? 60 degree, and this angle is beta, and beta we have got at 30 degree. So from this diagram we can apply Snell's law. So what we can say? Mu1 sin alpha, it is visible, okay, is equal to mu2 sin beta. So mu1, this is an air, so refractive index is 1. What is sin alpha? 60. So this becomes C, root 3 by 2 is equal to mu2. We don't know, we have to calculate into sin beta, sin 30, 1 by 2. So cham cham, chama cham. So mu is equal to what? Root 3 coming. Mu is equal to what coming? Root 3. So this is another kind of numerical which is based on refraction. Done, buddy? Okay. Yes. So now we are going to start another topic, and this is again very, very important topic and good topic, right? Concept of apparent depth. See, concept of apparent depth. This is also this is also phenomena of refraction. So what I told, first of all I discussed all types of what is the concept of refraction, then I discussed some numericals. Because of that you will get some feeling, you can realize, you can get confidence. Okay, so this is the method, this is the process to apply the concept of refraction. Now we are going to discuss concept of apparent depth. Okay, just I am telling you one point. You have studied class 11. Yeah. In class 11, definitely your teacher have taught, or maybe he did, concept of apparent weight. Concept of apparent weight. Whenever we are going in an accelerating lift, up or down, our weight get increase or decrease. Definitely it become rather than normal. Suppose that my weight is 60 kg. So this is not my weight, basically this is my mass. So my weight become what? 600 Newton. Suppose lift is going up, so definitely my mass should be increased. Sorry, my weight should be increased. If this lift is coming down, then my weight should be decreased. So the thing is that in reality my weight decrease or increase. Yeah, weight decrease or increase, but my mass is remains same. So basically what happened? This is called apparent. The reality is exact 60 kg. Reality is exact 600 Newton. But due to acceleration of lift, my weight becomes sometimes more than 600, sometimes less than 600. So this weight is called apparent weight. So apparent mean what? Something which is different, which is rather than actual, which is away from the reality. This is called apparent depth. So basically what happened? See, I telling you an example. Suppose this is a river. No need to write anything, just listen everybody, be careful. Suppose this is a river and somewhere here is a one fish. I don't know how to make the fish, just making this diagram. Right? Suppose this is a fish. Okay. So, and the height of this fish assume B. If you were looking from here, so it is observed practically, you are not able to calculate this height actually. Suppose it is 5 meter, then you will find that this fish will look like here. This fish will be look like here at the distance of 4 meter, 4.5 meter, 3 meter. But it is different than its real depth D. So suppose it appear here. So this depth will call apparent depth and this is called real depth. Same process will happen in another case also. Suppose here one swimmer. In the river there is a one man swimming, he is doing swimming. And here is one bird. Here is one bird. Suppose the height of this bird is h. For me, we are outside. So for us, height of this bird is h. But for this swimmer, this height will be increased. So it means for this swimmer, this fish will appear here. So this height is called apparent height and this is called real height. Got it? Why this happened? So this happened because of phenomena of refraction. So apparent depth means what? Any height which appears to observer due to the phenomena of refraction due to the different medium is called apparent height, apparent depth. Done, buddy? So can I write? Okay. See, I am writing here. Any height or difference, any height or depth, sorry, not difference, any height or depth which appears to observer who is in different medium, as compared to object, who is in different medium as compared to object, it's called apparent height or depth. So my dear students, see what I told. Any height or depth which appears to observer who is in different material, different medium, here I am writing different medium as compared to object. Suppose observer in air and fish in water. So fish has medium water and observer has medium air. So both have different refractive index. In this case, whatever height will measured, height observed by the observer is called apparent height or apparent depth. So see the next part. We will discuss one by one two cases. We will discuss two cases one by one. Case first. When object in rarer medium, and observer in denser. Okay, fine my dear. See, when object in denser and when object in rarer and observer in denser, no issue. We can do this first of all. See, I assume this is a river. Okay, refractive index of this one is a mu. Suppose that here one object and here observer. This is a observer. It is visible, my dear. This is observer. Okay, not visible. I will make another diagram. Don't worry. You have wrote this topic. Okay. So here is this one. Okay. See. So this is a medium refractive index mu. Suppose that here observer and here object. Take here object. This height assume h0. So this is a real height or apparent height? So I told this is a real height. Okay. So what happened? See, one light from this source directly reach to observer. You can take any another way also. Directly reach to observer. Okay. Fine. Suppose another light is coming like that. So this is what? Normal. This is what? Normal. I assume observer not here fixed. He is in medium present anywhere, right? So this light coming like this one. So this is the angle of incidence I. Now say this light is going from denser to rare or rarer to denser. So rarer to denser, definitely this light will bend like that. So basically what happened? See, observer will think this light is coming somewhere here. This light is coming from somewhere here. My dear, observe. See, this is the actual light, but due to bending, this light is coming like that. So observer think that this light is coming from somewhere, not from here. Observer will think this light is coming somewhere from this point. So this is the original object and this becomes O dash. This is the apparent object. This is the original object. So basically this total height is called apparent height. This total height is called apparent height. Assume h double P, right? Apparent height. And this is called, suppose this is a D. This distance assume D. So this is also D. I assume just for calculation, this is D. So this is also D. Okay. Now see my dear. This angle is what? R. So this angle is also become R. Right? So apply the formula. What we can say? Sin I. Sin I. This angle is what? I. So this angle is also I. So sin I is equal to D by this. D by, okay, tan I. Don't apply sin I, apply tan I. So tan I is equal to dy, this height become h0. Okay, fine. Second case, see, now another triangle you can see here. This is the one triangle like that. This is a dashed line, basically this line, and this is a D. This is what? D, and this is what? R. This height is what? Total height, H apparent. So this become H apparent. In this case, we can say tan R is equal to D by H apparent. Done, buddy? D is equal to, sorry, tan R is equal to D by H apparent. Now, my dear, apply Snell's law. So, can I write this side? Okay. Now, see. We can say for a small angle, tan I is equal to sin I is equal to tan I is equal to I. And we can say similarly, sin R is equal to tan R is equal to R for a small angle. For a small angle. Okay. Done, buddy? Now see, from Snell's law, hey, what? Mu1 sin I is equal to mu2 sin R. Yes or no? Mu1, I assume this is the rarer medium, so it is what? 1. Sin I, we have calculated D by H naught, I think. Yeah. D by H naught is equal to, this is what? Mu. And this become D by H apparent. Chum. So H apparent is equal to mu times H naught. H apparent is equal to mu times H naught. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now see, yesterday I told this is what? Refractive index, and this is always greater than 1. It means this is always greater than 1. It means what? H apparent always greater than H naught. So we can say here one note: when observer in denser medium and object in rarer medium, then object will appears away from, or object will appears at more height as compared to real height. So I am writing here more. You can also write, my dear students. See, when object is in rarer medium, then it appears at more height as compared to real height. Okay, real height. Another term we can use here, it's called normal shifting. What is the normal shifting? You can see here, it is visible. Okay, not visible, so just see this note, I will erase. When object is in rarer medium, then it appears at more height as compared to real height. Can I get? Okay, so see next point, normal shifting. See what I said, suppose that object is here, this height is H naught, and this is a mu, observer is somewhere here. So this object will, this is a O and this is a O dash, right? So just we got this formula, this object will appear at here, and this height is called H apparent. So what happened? This object shifted from here to there. So this shifting is called normal shifting. This is called normal shifting. This is called normal shifting because light shifted in normal direction. So what we can say? Normal shifting is equal to H apparent minus H naught. So H apparent we have calculated mu into H naught minus H naught. So normal shifting becomes h naught times mu minus 1. So this point you have to keep on your tips, because this all the things will be used during the solving of numerical. One more case, when observer in rarer medium and object in denser medium. Can I guess? Okay. See, case 2, when object is in denser and observer in rarer medium. Okay, it means suppose that we are looking at fish. So fish will be in water and we will be outside the water. So water become denser and we are in air, so it become rarer medium, right? Like that. See, this is a suppose that one river, and here one object is kept. I assume this height of object is d. Sorry, depth of this object is d. So what happened? Basically, see, one ray will go from this object like that. Okay, this is what? Normal. Okay, I will try to make another diagram, bigger diagram, so you will get the clear cut point, clear cut view. See, this is a river, and I assume refractive index of this river is mu. Suppose that here some object is kept. Okay, this is our object, and here somewhere observer. Here somewhere observer eyes. Okay. So basically, light will go like this. Suppose that, and this is a normal. Oh, 6. Light will go like that, and this is a normal. So this becomes angle of incidence I. But my dear student, we know that when light goes from rarer to denser, then it will bend towards the normal, and when denser to rarer, then it becomes away from the normal. So basically, this light will go like this. So make this good here. So this light will go like this. Okay. So this becomes angle of incidence R. Take more bending like that. So this becomes angle of incidence R. Sorry, angle of refraction R. Now see, if you will observer looking from here, see, if you will observer looking from here, then observer will say light is coming from this point. If observer looking there, then observer will say light is coming from this point. Okay, so this is the original object and this is a virtual object, or you can say appear object. Okay, assume this distance is d. Okay, d we have assumed already, and d, this thickness I assume d. So this is a d apparent. This is what? D apparent. So d apparent, right? Okay, assume this is a t. So I think this is also t. Just I taking assumptions. See, this is what t. So this is also t. Now find this is what? I. Okay. Now see, this is a r. Getting my points? Okay, fine, no issue. So this angle will be from vertical, also we can say r. This ray is coming like this one, so this become r, because this is what from vertical r, so this become also r, right here, r. Now write one by one. What we can say? Here, tan I. Again see, tan I is equal to, in this triangle, see my dear, in this triangle, tan I is equal to t by this height, this depth is what? D. So t by d, okay? Or I have already said you, tan I means sin I, so we can write it, sin I is equal to t by d. Okay, no issue. Same thing we can write here or here also. Tan r. Tan r is equal to what? See in this triangle. Tan r, this is a basically angle r. So tan r is equal to T by this height d apparent. So d apparent. Okay. And tan I is equal to basically, I can erase this side. Thank you. See. So basically sin r is equal to what? T by d apparent. Okay. Now apply Snell's law. So see, from Snell's law, what we can say, mu1. Mu1 means this is a mu, sin I is equal to, this is a air, so 1 sin R. Now apply formula mu sin I. Sin I is equal to what? T by D is equal to sin R, T by D apparent. T by D apparent. So from here we will get the result. So D apparent is equal to D by mu. Oh, wow! What is the result in previous case? We got a result in previous case, mu into D. This is the previous case, that was multiplication and here division. Again this is always greater than 1. So this D apparent always will be less than D apparent. Always will be less than D. Right? So what we can say, in second case, object always appears at some lesser depth or less depth as compared to original depth. Again here called normal shifting. So normal shifting is equal to, see, this is a D and it is shifted here. So D minus D apparent. So what is D minus? So D minus D by mu. So this become D into 1 minus, not visible, okay, no issue. Erase this side. This is the object and it will appear to here. So this is the normal shifting x. So x is equal to D minus D apparent. So x is equal to D minus D by mu. So take from here x is equal to D times 1 minus 1 by mu. So this is a normal shifting when object is in denser medium and observer is in rarer medium. In the previous case, mu minus 1 into D. In that case, object was in rarer medium and observer was in denser medium. So today I think this is the enough, right? So just you have to do your each and every work. Again I am telling you, whenever you want to solve the good level of numerical, this all concept must be in your mind. Otherwise, if you want to solve a lollipop question, then according to your choice. Done? Okay. So see you guys tomorrow once again. Bye bye. Take care. Love you.